hindi mo naman pinipili eh, kung kailan ka yung in heat, ano? So, paano yun? Pag ayaw ng asawa mo, so wala pong ibang paraan talaga kung para ano yung lalaki. So, paano yun? Babae ka na lang ba? Di kaso na naman yun. So, ano pong, anong pwede mo sabihin sa asawa mo na paano ako?
The Wonderful Beautiful Podcast!
I just want to preface this by saying I literally do not know what this video is. If I'm being completely honest, it's kind of just like a rant. It's just a full-on aesthetic, I guess, looking girl rant about two specific issues that I think bothered a lot of people. August was kind of like a crazy month, and so I just wanted to talk about a few things because I want to. I know these types of topics typically attract a lot of rats into my channel. You can disagree, you can agree, I don't care. I'm not gonna read it, I'm not gonna see it, it doesn't exist to me. But the two issues that I'm gonna be talking about is one, marital R word. The second one is just about the events that happened after Carlos Yulo won 2 gold medals in the Olympics, and for some reason like a bunch of misogynistic things happened after that, which is crazy, but let me discuss it. I have here a screen to really highlight the intensity, and also because I didn't want to edit.
Kung babae ka, sino ka? Ayaw ko maging babae.
To give you guys a little bit of background, we have this amazing senator who used to be an actor. He was like an action star, right?
Yes or no, are you faithful? Pinipilit.
And I don't know, nobody has ever admitted to voting for him. I don't know how he won.
Sex or chocolates? Sex!
There was a hearing of the Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media, led by Chairperson Senator Robin Hood Padilla. By the way, it is insane to me that his name is full on Robin Hood. Cool. This video basically starts out with him asking, her name is Attorney Lorna Patajo Kapunan. She is a lawyer and she's also known for litigating high-profile cases. She handled the situation very, very well. She's basically the one schooling Senator Robin Hood the whole time. Initially, he was like starting out like asking, okay, what's the definition of the R word? Guys, when I mention the R word, I mean SA/RAP. I do have to censor some of these words because if I don't, then I don't even think you're gonna be able to see this video at all. They were talking about the new and old definitions of things. She answered that before, the definition of the R word is the forced penetration of the male genitalia into the female genitalia. And now it's been updated, so now it's forced penetration of anything into any opening.
At kahit anong lugar na pinasukan, bibig, kung ano man. Aking babae,
Yes po. Kaya lang, dapat sama natin ng LGBT. Kasi,
Okay, I cannot help. I don't know if I'm just nitpicking. This probably is nitpicking. Like, I know that body language and all that shit is a little bit pseudoscience-y, right? But like, the way he just presented himself, like, so, babae, lalaki. Sige. I don't know. Just something about, maybe it's just his entire being. That's just how he is. But it doesn't feel like a very safe approach to discuss something that's meant to be extremely sensitive and serious.
paano kung asawa? Sabi ng asawa, honey, sasabihin ng asawa, masakit ang ulo ko, ayaw. Pinersa nung husband, yung babae to have sex. Is that ang sagot po ay yes. Ang tawag ang tawag po
Okay, look at him, like, he's like, wait, what? He seems so genuinely confused, like, what? Like, women can say no? What? Let's continue watching.
so yung dati mo na sinasabi na obligasyon ng asawa, ng babae o lalaki, kapag humiling ang asawa, lalaki o babae, dapat pagbigyan, hindi na po yan.
Hindi po. Pag sinabing no, no means no.
No.
So,
No. Pwede mo 1 minute suspension lang po.
Attorney says, no means no. And what his reply is, no means no. Oh, no. I think we need to stress that the most concerning part of this is the absolute cluelessness or how surprised he is at what she's saying. And I can tell, like, honestly, if I was in her situation, like, okay, she's like giggling or laughing and all that stuff, it takes a lot of strength for you to just be like serious at that time, because you are talking to somebody who's evidently so much more powerful than you in terms of like their position in the entire country, and this is a man that we're talking about. Again, like the informality of it just feels so mock-ish. And I know there's gonna be like some idiot out there, you're reading too much into it. I don't care. Maybe I am, but people need to be sensitive about how they bring themselves up, especially if you're in the freaking government. Come on.
Kasi maraming sumunod ng mga lalaki, nagtatakot. Bakit ganon? Pasensya na po kayo, marami kong...
What are these jokes? Does that mean that everybody who went to the bath, like, what are you trying to say?
Akong bayan, ang lalo-lalo ng mga lalaki, paano naman daw po yun? Kasi, halimbawa, yung babae, yung asawa mo, may mixed, minsan kasi, ito totoo po ito, minsan akala mo nagpapalambing lang yung asawa mo. So, paano mo masasabi yung no is no? Akala mo lang nagpapalambing o mahirap pong mag-distinguish kasi minsan ng babae, minsan.
Really? How difficult is it? Like, is it really that hard to distinguish if somebody obviously doesn't want something or isn't gonna enjoy something? Honestly, even if you're like already, I don't know, if you're butt naked already or whatever, you can literally just ask, like, are you sure? Not even just related to this whole scenario over here. I think it's common humane courtesy to ask somebody if they're truly comfortable with something. That's it. You just really have to ask. Is there no communication skills here? And the thing is, I've had this exact same conversation before with a batchmate. We were talking about like consent or something. And then he just said, oh, sometimes they just want to be forced, or they want to be like convinced. There's this idea that sometimes we just act like we don't want it, but really we do. And that is such a dangerous thing to perpetuate. People are capable of clearly communicating things. Nobody's forcing you to be a fortune teller. I think the issue here isn't that you're having trouble reading or some women are just difficult to read. It's that your own desires are what you're prioritizing. It's not a mutual thing. You're saying that I'm pretty sure she still wants it. I'm pretty sure she still wants it. No, you're projecting your own desires into what she wants. That's what's louder in your head rather than actually reading the situation. Like, it's so easy to just be like, are you sure you really want it? Are you sure you're comfortable? Are you sure? I don't want to force you if you don't want to. But not in a guilt trip way. Oh, I just misread the whole thing. This is me continuing to misread the whole thing. Make it make sense. It's impossible. You have to be a different level of stupid to actually think that you can get away with something and just be like, I just misread it. Makes you so far from innocent. It's giving like those people who have, for example, they have kinks, like their kink is to be choked. There have been news of people who have been choked so hard that they D-worded. It was because the guy just like misread the whole thing, thought that it was just a kink. Like he didn't know that he ended up literally K-wording her. How is that possible? How do you see somebody like literally not enjoying and think to yourself, this is fine? There's no excuse for it. There's literally, oh my god, I hate it. I hate that. Does this really have to be spelled out? This is why I hate the excuse that guys are just stupid, men are just stupid. That's not an excuse. It's not stupidity. It's just complete disregard and disrespect for another person's well-being.
Paniwalaan, pero ako lalo, mayroon paniwalaan ako magno. Pero, paano ba pag nag-no ako?
What is this discussion? It feels like I'm just in a freaking bar with a bunch of uncles. You can watch the entire video, but what she basically discussed when it comes to marriage here in the Philippines, we've removed the obligation of being obedient, like the wife needs to be obedient to the husband. She also pointed out the difference that before it used to be, I now declare you man and wife. Now it's husband and wife, because man and wife would insinuate that a woman becomes a wife and a man still, gets to be a man. Like, it's only the woman's life that has to change and not the man. So those are like some new updates in terms of Philippine law. And he also reacts to it in a way that is so outdated. The thing is, yes, the laws have been updated and have progressed, but majority of the people here have not. They still definitely subscribe to this idea that women need to be obedient to the man, women need to be more submissive to their man. And you know what, if that's the relationship dynamic that you want, then go ahead, but don't impose that on other people who clearly don't want it and do not benefit from it at all. Because evidently the idea of not being equal to your partner, or not being like men and women and all the other genders, the idea of them not being equal has caused so much more harm than good. It has caused so much abuse in power, and it's just not something that you should be joking about in a Senate hearing. They also bring up religion a lot, which also like ticks something in my brain, because newsflash, not everyone has the same religion as you. Eventually, he did apologize for his statements and his questions and everything that he said there, but his wife posted this horrendous photo of them online and captioned it, "Oh, may consent yan ah." And then he replies, "Hello babe, I'm in heat," in reference to what he said about
Hindi mo naman pinipili kung kailan ka yung in heat, ano? So, paano yun? Pag ayaw ng asawa mo, so wala pong ibang paraan talaga kung para ano yung lalaki. So, paano yun? Babae ka na lang ba?
First of all, always hate the excuse that men are just really just more sexually active compared to women. They have more testosterone and so they have more sexual needs, and I don't give a single shit. You're not animals. You're not feral freaking dogs or monsters for you to not have self-control. You're a human freaking being. I'm very emotional when I'm on my period. Does that mean I get to kill someone? You have more testosterone. Does that mean you get to R-word someone? It's not a freaking excuse. Initially, like when I first saw the video, I was like, okay. But then I saw this post, and this one really made things a lot more aggravating for me. It really worsened things because you're a woman, like. It's so disappointing when it's a woman who does this, who says something so absolutely freaking inconsiderate, especially with how serious the topic is. How offensive is this for anybody who has experienced marital SA or marital R-word? Like, imagine how horrid that is to know that the people who are in a position of power are thinking like this and saying stuff like this. They didn't even delete this. Right now, it's still up. Like, there's absolutely no remorse whatsoever. Even if he did apologize, this doesn't seem like the actions of somebody who is in any way remorseful for what they've said. You have power. Like, fuck. I just have a little proposal, okay, for us citizens. When somebody posts something that is extremely ignorant, I get it that it's ignorant to the point that it's funny, but can we stop laugh reacting to it? Like, honestly, it just makes it seem like they're not being taken seriously. Like, it's serious. Like, it's nothing to laugh react about. Like, I understand that a huge part of our culture as Filipinos, our coping mechanisms have always been to memeify or to make jokes about something, to laugh react at like the most heinous bullshit. I think it needs to stop. I feel like it's very counterproductive. I know it's meant to be satirical and sarcastic and stuff, but it's not doing any good. Like, how are they gonna feel seeing all the laugh reacts? Imagine if maybe we could just make it a sad or like an angry. Like, if it genuinely makes you angry, then do an angry react, guys. Like, what? Not a laugh react. Like, stop trying to out troll people who are already trolling you. You can't out troll them. Especially with women, we've been trained to just laugh at things when it makes us uncomfortable. The automatic response as a defense mechanism will always be to giggle about it. You don't need to giggle. You don't need to laugh at things that aren't funny. You really don't. And I'm gonna say that to you now. I think turning things into something that's comedic, I know that's something that I also do to try to make things more digestible and to raise awareness artist about something, there's a very thin line. And I think that there's a difference between making something satirical and it being effective versus fueling the fire or just making things a lot worse. That's just my opinion. Moving on, I'm sick of that shit. If you're gonna skip this part because you think I'm gonna talk about sports, I really am not. I don't care about sports. What I am here for is just one of my opinions that I don't know if anybody talks about it. For context, Carlos Yulo recently won 2 gold medals. Yay, congratulations. Very proud of you. Okay. After he won the Olympics for gymnastics, they interviewed his mom. During the interview, she just started saying the most personal, random things. Okay, so this woman is his mom. And during this interview, it's like a 15-minute interview where she basically talks about all of their very personal issues, like things about money. She was saying every single detail, like full on, like all the bank accounts, like which bank account. At this point, she could have just said the card numbers and the security code, like, and maybe the PIN. Maybe you could say that too. She's saying that Carlos like accused her of stealing like a huge sum of money. And honestly, with her explanation, and also be pissed. Like, instead of me feeling a little bit sorry for her, it just made me feel more annoyed. She literally said that with the money, she like bought a house or like she renovated a house or something. But I didn't spend it. I didn't spend it on myself. I just bought it on a house where he could live in without his consent. Let me just show you.
Mami, alam po niya na kinuha niya yung pera dun sa land bank, pangbayad dun sa bahay na sinasabi niyo.
Nasabi ng anak ko, magpo-fully paid kasi si mama ng bahay na sa Cavite.
At umuo po siya. So,
Sige, let's say, kahit hindi siya umuo. Diba? Kahit sabihin na natin na hindi siya umuo, ang sa akin lang din kasi dito is, hindi ko nilusta yung pera niya.
This is another example of somebody who does not know the meaning of consent. You don't just spend somebody's money and be like, I didn't do anything, it was for your own good. No, that's somebody else's hard-earned money. It doesn't matter if they're a mom or not. Like, just because you're somebody's mom doesn't mean that you have the right to use your kid's money. It's a very distorted sense of implementing utang na loob here. She's saying, I paid for that house since 2016 to 2019. I paid for that. The least you can do is like finish it up with like the money that you earned. There really is just no consent. Like, it's very obvious that there was no consent when that happened. Even with the Senator Robin Hood situation, anybody who has like a level of power over somebody, they will have this sense of entitlement that because I'm this, because I'm your mother, because I'm a man, because I'm more powerful, because I'm more rich, because I'm white, because I'm straight, that means that I can do disrespectful things to you. That means you owe me more respect than I owe you. And that's not okay. Anyways, that's not even my main point. My main point is that while she's discussing this whole money thing, she also expresses how much she dislikes her son's girlfriend. Her name is Chloe. You know what Filipinos did after she said this whole thing? They went to the girlfriend's Instagram page and started to blast her with hate. Everybody just started running to Chloe and like started bashing her and like sending her hate and like saying like the most misogynistic and transphobic shit. And I'm just gonna highlight how bad the hate was. There's even like famous people, like for example, I don't even know what he does. I don't know if he's like some kind of influencer, a business owner, or professional love bomber or something, but his name is Sean Gaza. Bruh, I was today years old when I found out that this man is literally an ex-convict. The reason why he is so rich and a quote-unquote entrepreneur slash businessman is because he's a dead-ass scammer. Oh god, it's always these types of men with the absolute audacity. And he posted like some transphobic shit and I saw it, and that's really one of the motivations I had to make this video, because like, bro, what are you saying? It was like an indirect, but I just stalked the gold medalist's girlfriend. Turns out she's actually a girl. And I'm like, first of all, that's one, transphobic. And then Chloe clapped back and said, I am a girl, so do you want a birth certificate? Like, what is that even supposed to mean? Are we still really using trans people as insults? Like, can we also please stop being so comfortable trying to figure out what's inside somebody's clothes? Like, God, like, you don't need to know that stuff. It's in such poor taste, and it's so offensive, and definitely would not age well. And I wish more people were kind of angry at that, because that's so rude. I also just want to say that when I compare the comments between Carlos Yulo, and that's not to say that Carlos isn't going through shit. Like, I think people should also leave him alone. Like, oh my God, all he did was win an award. Like, God forbid somebody succeed at something. But like, the difference in comments, his most recent comments, it's just them saying that you're not humble, hindi ka nakaka-proud. Some of them are very supportive, like, we're proud of you even if your mom isn't proud of you. Congratulations, champ. Pero maraming babae sa mundo. Pero ang magulang iisa lang yan. Love your parents. Walang mawawala sa'yo kung ikaw susuwi sa magulang mo. Who are you, bro? Are you like a random tita who's trying to insert themselves into somebody else's family business? Like, why are you giving such unsolicited advice to somebody who literally does not give a about you? And you're saying things like, oh, there's other women out there. Like, you're there insulting somebody else's girlfriend. Like, you're insulting somebody that he loves. He's not gonna take your advice, my dude. Like, leave him alone. But anyway, like, a lot of the comments are more advice-ish. They're not making fun of him, like, for stupid reasons. They're trying their best to insert themselves, which, yes, is annoying. But if you look over at Chloe's account, they're saying the most heinous shit. Like 1,000 comments. Kahit anong nagawa ng nanay sa anak, nanay pa rin siya ni Kaloy. Not this slut-looking girl. Not a good example for a gold medalist girlfriend to others. Bad attitude girl. OMG! With, like, a bunch of, like, shocked emojis. They're like calling her a slut, using a lot of these derogatory words. They're body shaming her. They're using transphobic slurs. Bruh, leave her alone. And I'm not here, I'm not trying to defend her like, oh, I'm like this huge fan. I really don't give a shit about sports. I don't care. I just don't like when somebody's being obviously harassed, like hardcore harassed, for literally just posting like a bikini pic. Like, God forbid a woman slays. Like, fuck, leave her alone. Let her slay. Let her be happy with her boyfriend. Like, in other countries, the first thing that they do when they win some kind of Olympic thing, they like run to their girlfriends. They run to their boyfriends. Why does it have to be such a huge issue here in the Philippines? At this point, Carlos Yulo should also get a third medal for mental gymnastics that people put him through. Anyways, I'm done. Thank you guys so much for letting me rant. Don't know what this is. Don't know if anybody's gonna watch it, but whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to. I don't know how to do outros.